point of interest is something you all can relate to. I want to talk about education in American society and how it influences our attitudes and opinions. I'm assuming that quite a few of you seniors are planning on furthering your education. If you are, I applaud you for your initiative. However, always keep in mind that insight does not come with a degree. You can go to all the esteemed colleges and universities you want and end up with nothing but thousands of dollars in student loan debt. Keep things in perspective and take coursework for what it's worth. I think that in our society, the words education and school have come synonymous with each other. The fact is, guys, they could not be any more different. One is establishment, the other is a state of mind. If I had any knowledge I didn't gain from the classroom, I was blessed to grow up around some very brilliant people. Ironically, none of which really had any higher education to speak of. For instance, my grandpa, he was a tough, uncompromising old World War II vet who lived by code based on the concept of hard work and integrity. My dad, he is a man with barely high school education who once managed to defeat not only one, but two law firms on my behalf during a stint of legal trouble I went through. Imagine having to go through legal trouble. No. And my mom, the main person who stood by me during my childhood, my adolescence, when I had problems with school and society and pretty much everyone else. Now, I'm sure that all you seniors have family members who have taught you valuable life lessons. However, I think that we all need to realize that this kind of enlightenment and knowledge can come from any source. Unfortunately, many of us, we miss the opportunity to learn due to our own preconceived assumptions. I'll have you know that some of the most intelligent, talented people I've ever met were the inmates I worked with at the Nebraska State Penitentiary. At my current position, many of the homeless clients are often smarter than the so-called professionals I encounter. And furthermore, while playing gigs with my band, I've met more poets and artists and intellectuals than any university could ever hope to have. Please don't get me wrong, seniors. I would not trade my education for any amount of money. I honestly hope that all of you get the chance to experience higher education at some point in your lives. However, the fact remains that in my personal journey, all the people I've mentioned is where I got my real education from. I think our society's views upon education tend to influence us in a broader social text. Regrettably, we as a society sometimes become arrogant about our place in the world and view ourselves as more enlightened than other countries and cultures. One famous historical example of this kind of attitude was when some Europeans came to America and stole the native land and destroyed much of their culture. One of the main reasons for these Europeans regarding themselves in a higher light than these savages was the natives' form of communication. The Europeans thought the natives to be dense because they spoke slowly, methodically, were not quick to respond to questions, and generally did not talk much. We obviously now know that the natives were in fact very complex people. The reason for their language patterns was that they considered the words you speak as harmful, potentially as harmful as a barrel from a gun. Once words were spoken, you could not simply just take them back and say, I'm sorry. Now keep that in mind during this election year, seniors. I've heard many eloquent speeches and debates over the last several months by potential presidential candidates. Though these politicians may sound smart and articulate, all their grandiose speeches and frivolous communication would seem trite to the native cultures. If you seniors get anything out of the aforementioned examples, it should be this. Whether it's the politician trying to get your vote, the salesman trying to get your money, the professor trying to influence your opinion, the media trying to influence your opinion, or your guest speaker at your high school graduation trying to sound like he knows what he's talking about, I want you all to be wary of those who try to woo you through pretty words and fancy presentations and funny degrees.